Credible tales of UFO sightings and encounters with alien beings are beyond count. Millions are likely to have experienced them. What does it all mean? In this episode, I offer an opinion based on a lifetime of studying unexplained phenomena. Let's explore. Hi everyone, and welcome to Project Bluebook, where we explore all things unidentified. I am Thor, and thanks for tuning in. This will be a different kind of episode. Through dozens of them, we've focused on events supported by evidence. Together they point to the undeniable reality that UFOs and UAPs exist on Earth, on the ground, in the air, and underwater. They exhibit capabilities presenting technologies more advanced than anything known to man, including their energy source, their propulsion systems, navigation, maneuverability, and their ability to overcome inertia without adversely affecting their inhabitants, like stopping on a dime, redirecting and accelerating at a speed involving g-forces that would crush a human life form. They seem unaffected. Collectively, they represent highly advanced technology far ahead of human knowledge. Some are piloted by intelligent beings, non-human, and some crafts are remotely controlled or equipped with artificial intelligence capable of assessing situations and making decisions, incorporating machine learning. And some may look like a cross between the two, having an onboard biorobotic being that looks and behaves like a life form, but is in fact a machine. Evidence points to all of the above because encounters are not monolith. They are far from all the same. Together, they represent the presence in our reality of an intelligent life form, and they represent an evolution of technology and possibly biology as well, considerably different and more advanced than that of humans. This opinion is supported by evidence that differs from case to case, but enough corroborating evidence has been gathered, compared, substantiated, and verified convincingly to become irrefutable for anyone willing to follow a path of logic with enough courage to cross the boundaries, separating acceptable reality from the other, bigger reality, a world that exists outside of this restrictive envelope and includes a multitude of aspects that challenge our notion of what constitutes reality. Remember Stanton Friedman's words that the debunkers must be right 100% of the time, whereas we, those that are convinced of the reality of unexplained phenomena, we only need to be right once. You will never hear me use the word belief in this context because believing means asserting something is truth without evidence. God, as an example. Here we're not talking truth without evidence, but truth with evidence. So what is this truth? What is the evidence? First, we have tens of thousands of people from around the world that have come forward with their accounts, recorded not just over decades, but hundreds of years. Millions more confess they have seen a UFO and are convinced of their existence. Experiencers the world over describe invariably the same thing in exactly the same detail. Children in Zimbabwe, old women in Wales, Aborigines in Australia. The extraordinary Hopis, with their rich legacy, points to the presence of the traveling sky people, possessing controls of lightning, water, and matter itself. And ordinary people like you and me, living their lives out in big cities and small towns all over this planet. Evidence number one is their eyewitness testimony that would hold up in our court of law as good enough to convict a person by a single account. Here, we're talking about multiple eyewitness accounts repeatedly describing the same thing. Deny it, and I will have the right to call you an ostrich, who, when frightened by something he sees and doesn't understand, sticks his head in the sand to unsee it. Be my guest Rather, you don't need an invitation to live in ignorance. It's a choice, and we all have free will. I prefer, as does my audience on Project Bluebook, to continue to see. So the battle for our civilization's sanity is just that, right here. I would like most of us to choose to face the truth with open eyes and learn what unexplained phenomena of other intelligences truly mean, with all of its consequences. Our fear of the glaring light, we must face it, or else retreat into darkness from where we can never grow or evolve. Second, video footage. Increasingly easy to obtain in the age of smartphones, even if the quality is only as good as the person holding the camera. This footage includes lights, movements, shapes, hovering craft with incredible detail sometimes, even showing creatures, outlines staring back at the camera. And then there are the chases, official footage released by the Pentagon, the US Department of Defense, no other. Many are caught by accident, without the knowledge of the recorder, who's there for a different reason altogether, only to realize later they caught a UFO, UAP. I will also recognize there's an additional challenge in the age of smart technology, that plenty more objects, man-made, are also traversing our skies night and day, and it creates a challenge in establishing a convincing data analysis. But technology in the hands of everyone is a beautiful thing when it comes to the discovery of unexplained phenomena. Let's use it, even while aperture and focus sucks. At least try to keep the camera steady when your time comes. Put your phone down on a steady surface. Hold it still with a wide frame for focus. It can be enhanced after the fact. Third are the photographs. Increasing amount of still photographs are selective still frames of video footage. This has been true since about 2005 and 6, when the quality of phone cameras became on par with video recorders. But photographs, along with video footage, each shot on different devices, this is the best kind of visual evidence there is, and we have it in droves. Fourth is physical evidence. Yes, it exists. And for this conversation, I'm not relying on artifacts or implants, although both exist for real, but bodily injuries, sometimes deadly, radiation burns are commonplace, leading to a lifetime of illness, and they're consistent with the story told by the experiencer. I also include crop circles, landing marks, crashed forest paths, and other damage or markings left on infrastructure or nature associated with UFO sightings. Fifth is technological detection. Radar signatures, sometimes simultaneously on board aircraft and on ground control tracking stations. And we're not just talking radar signatures, but highly sophisticated infrared tracking technology, used first by the military, but is now available on Amazon for us all. DJI-1 cameras, onboard military aircraft, tracking visual imprints as well as infrared data of objects under extreme conditions of speed, cloud cover, and obscuration. Many cases represent a combination of those. The best of them include all. For all those reasons and all of the evidence, when logic, intelligence, and curiosity is applied, patterns begin to form, and it becomes absolutely impossible to deny the reality. For these reasons, it is by now irrefutably beyond a shadow of a doubt that UFOs, UAPs, are physical craft, materially made, operated by intelligences possessing technology more advanced than humans. They are not of the human family. This we know now. They're here. What we don't know is who they are, what they want, how long have they been here, where do they come from, and what does it all mean? Based on the evidence discussed, we are possibly dealing with over 80 different types of craft sightings, and, according to experiencer accounts, we may be dealing with up to 30 or more different species and subspecies, biological and artificial. Attempting to answer the question of origins, motives, and meaning, to me, this is an area of high speculation, where many have come forward, eager to offer up what they deem to be the truth, based on secret communication they sometimes personally received. Such claims are, of course, not analytically credible. So when it comes to motives, to me, it's all speculation, contradictory, and unprovable. I also believe this is by design, because there are enough experiencer account statements that include and agree as follows. They want us to know they exist. That's all. Because experiencer claim we're not ready to know anything else. We can see their craft, their maneuverability in our skies, to understand other intelligences exist, and it's here, but we can't pry about their motives, objectives, their history, or their relationship with us. Even as we gain some random insights by chance, based on encounters, abductions, and interactions with non-human intelligence, it still gives us no footing for a comprehensive study. It gives podium to preachers, self-promoters, and charlatans to claim anything, doing more harm than good, confusing our path of seeking the truth by ridiculing with their extreme claims of personal opinion what the nature, purpose, and origins of the alien intelligence actually is. They don't know. And this confusion seems to me to be sometimes controlled, intentional, or at least it favors the intended outcome. It discredits the entire pursuit of truth regarding unexplained phenomena while upholding the core principle: we're not supposed to know. We have to advance away from our selfish ways, become more at equilibrium with our ecosystem, and that's not just an opinion, it's the message received by many. We're not ready. The concept of secrecy that has led to many believing our government is in the know and is holding out on secretive and comprehensive information about the alien presence on Earth, to that I say this. Let's first define what we mean by the government, because as an example, our elected officials come and go and are on a need-to-know basis. Some of them may get briefings on a limited aspect of the phenomena when they are interested and also cleared and trusted in learning about it, but they don't build a foundational connection to the data before they leave office. The military is a huge organization, governed by order, protocol, a massive paper trail, and a strict chain of command. By design, each member of the armed services learns and knows only what they need to know, nothing more. There have been decades of building a tradition of overclassifying documents, for good reason when it comes to our adversaries, but it also has been a useful tool in establishing compartmentalization and in keeping secrets. I believe there are a very limited number of individuals within the military and the military-industrial complex that know and keep knowledge and pass knowledge on, utilizing the structures already in place. They have something to gain personally, but are also persuaded by coercion and by threats. No one in the know is safe. This structure is maintained by utilizing chains of command, siloing of the information by a need-to-know doctrine, as well as by top-secret classification protocols, and lastly, by threats. The military, as well as the government, by and large, goes about doing their job with honor, high intelligence, and devotion to country, and are largely unaware. So be careful and slow to judge and conclude without evidence. When they say they don't know, those same individuals that sometimes appear before the cameras on behalf of UAP study, they are simply telling the truth. They just don't know. As a result, the whole concept of demanding government disclosure is just ludicrous to me. They're barking up the wrong tree, because there is no tree. In the meantime, civil aviation authorities are building pathways of reporting. So is the Department of Defense, and so is NASA, each committed to tracking, gathering data, and reporting moving forward in the name of national security concerns. We will see where that leads. The conclusion I draw is that the infiltration by other intelligences into our system of government is real and is as advanced, deeply penetrating, and precise as is their technology, utilizing their knowledge of the human emotional psyche as a tool against us. It's highly effective and way more sophisticated than any psyop we have invented. How long have they been here? Evidence suggests since the dawn of time, before we existed. There's evidence for that. Pumapunku, Baalbek, pyramids, literally everywhere, including at the bottom of the sea. There are giant bunkers in Antarctica underneath 15 million years of ice. Where do they come from? Pleiades, Andromeda, Sirius? Those would be the extraterrestrials. How about right here, Earth? A different dimension? The more I study the phenomena, the more I think it's actually all of the above, because they are definitely not monoliths, not unified. We can, however, study their behavior, their technology, and we can study their interactions with us and this planet. From that, there's a lot to be learned and concluded. Stay tuned. You can watch and listen to this and other podcasts on Project Bluebook, where we explore all things unidentified. Each day, let's practice compassion and kindness. And please subscribe. I am Thor, and thanks for tuning in. See you next time.